na ade endra nsu eyire nyina no na endra me etwa me nsunu mu na ema me sefam ye ne se me hu se Ghana mampani ene Standogbe ene Gilbert Western Housing Minister no eti helicopter mu se omo de na mawiem hwe ne akoso. I was hurt and I was sad. And they say over a year ago and a mampani Mahama o taste our committee was a task force na wodi adwuma ehwa munsem I think March 12 2025 say omadwuma omunko nyina ne say omunko solve na omun prevent the flood situation in Ghana na eba ne sa no afi ebe frase no for the first time in a very long while no Ghana Metro enya omo prediction nyina right ntomo chance ebo kokko from January say ensu a ebeto afi no eburu afi biya de so Ghana Metro ka obiya de obeti aka so manka omo kansa afi ensu ebeto no eburu so ntomo chance ebo kokko Standogbe ene Gilbert Ejay omo anya hwe Lareta biri apia pono omo anya hwe ena omo tena se ehwe ya ma nsuo no hyase se eyiri nti ehyase baako na eyiri ehyase mienu na kakra yiri na ye ya na yaye na eja enamu na eden abu adenta na eden abu ha na ekunipa baako mienu miensa na nsuo no gusu yiri kɔ na Ghana Metro gusu boy kokɔ se nsuo no beto omo anya hwe kane anka Kufuado breso ebedu sabre yi a na Kufuado abopa ne ye kwakote odoi mu ala adugata ni ade gata hu hia no ne ya tetim ne ayi ni nyina kama enso wei a make say mampani Mahama breso baby ana odi ohu ya medie mahu se ye ti gata bia mu ni nua Ibrahim Mahama and Kufuado etore bi ya so oye che ene why busy that my wo tu black gold go kotu enti no si ano ga oni gata mu ti abonsan ho tiafi memnya sure se ti gata bia mu na sa Standogbe yi no omo aye sa ade we na endra atoyira nchement se atu Ghana fo a na wasa fa Standogbe na ne ti wiem shemu na wonye ne nam ene Gilbert Ejay se mampani Mahama serious a in fact se sa task force no so omo serious a esa kendra omo nyina resign from picture no to so esa kendra omo nyina resign because ye de adwuma share winsem over a year ago wadwuma aye simple wadwuma no say yate anti-flood task force anti-flood committee monko fight flood se na be ya ebinsi kra na mpo se ebesi a ye betimi abre nase na wako now after a year na flood na asie no eburu ne yehu Ghana nyina so a na adenti na se wo koso etena ho as minister as chief of staff as national security coordinator as hwan na wo san ewo sa committee no so adenti a gini of from picture ne bra na yenhwe adenti a enti ese omo catch say they should justify their inclusion, they should justify why enti a ese sa committee na efe no anti-flood task force no ese as Standogbe eda no ese e koso mo wo sa committee ni so catch them ni enti a they should tell us omo catch Ghana for ni enti a ese omo wo so enti members no ni enti Standogbe ena da suru yi only a deputy chief of staff in charge of operation only chairman of that committee we Mareta Bru appear upon president and a lawyer ono so na da suru yi. The other person no Gilbert Ejay on the minister for works and housing. Enna Ahmed Ibrahim enna Abuwabotai on the local government minister. Razak Osman and so national security coordinator. Enna Teddy Adi former MP for Yensuano and now deputy director Ewo Nadmo. Eti Crawford way enna mampani Mahama last year as what task force. Omo adwuma is simple. Omo tenase na omo make sure say ensuyire e man kran biom. E yati omo committee wie no na ɔmo kɔkyena wiemhyɛn mu ɛna ɔmo tu fa wiem sɛ ne ndra ɔmo no mampani Mahama nam wiem no ɔmo wie ne no ano no yante ɔmo nka biem yɛhu ɔmo baabi a biem ebesi ndra biem a yɛasɛ hunu sɛ ɔmo ne mampani Mahama ɛsan te wiemhyɛn mu a ɔmo san nam abɔnten mampani Mahama wo brɛ so obetumi ayi ebɛsa da ba obetumi ayi mampani Mahama wo brɛ so ensuo ani eja edi afra ekum nipa over 140 ewo enkran ha wonim the flood situation in Ghana wonim wonya hoho kra wonya new wonim the flood situation ewo Ghana adechina nra wo kotna yumshim enju person che Ghana for say wonim ana is that what you want to tell us yenim say wonim enye ndra sana obe ka the cause of a flood na dia kire enye ndra because yenim say wonim niema ensuo eyiri ewon kran wonim niema ensuo eyiri ewo Ghana you know it njade te na fe na obeto anansam dia kire ndra mampani Mahama ekọ aprobo kọtena yumhye mo ne gebetagie nom na omukọtena ehyemu a na omo ekoba no yekobo sa video no.
An aerial tour of Accra to inspect the flooded areas. Unfortunately, the flooding has been very extensive today for several reasons. There's climate. If you look at the rainfall pattern from 2024, 2025, 2026, you see that increasingly every year we're getting more rain in Accra than we used to get. Accra is built between two natural bodies, the Kwapim Mountain Range and the Atlantic Ocean. And in those years, it was not a problem because Accra was a very small city. But as the population continues to increase and people continue to build, it restricts the path of the streams on their way to the Atlantic. So that's an engineering problem. We need to see how to open the channel so that the water can pass. But then there's also the other aspect, which is attitudinal and human behavior. That is dumping garbage in the drains. Even in the air, we discovered many illicit dumping sites where the wetlands are. People have gone to create a waste dumping ground, and they charge 20 cedis for the Abubuya to come and fill the waste into the wetlands. And when it has filled sufficiently, they sell the land to people to come and build on it. Anytime you begin to take action and you start breaking houses, people think that government is inhumane. But when the problem arises like this flood, it affects everybody. And so all of us have been affected because of the conduct of a few people blocking the channels and preventing the water from passing. And so we'll call a National Security Council meeting. We're asking every district to identify, together with the Works and Housing Ministry, where the blockages in the channels are as they pass through the district assemblies, so that we can earmark those places for removal.
You see, they've even filled part of the waterway with garbage.
Yes, sir.
And then all these people are built here. You're in the park. Yes, sir.
Ultimately, the other solution will be to decongest Accra. And that's why we're planning that we move some of the city out, that is the major government departments, and then also create a new center of growth so that our people will start building outside Accra in a new city instead of everybody looking for some space in Accra to build. So, but that's a long-term solution. But I just want to express my sympathy with people who have lost property. Loss of property has been very extensive, and I want to thank the military, NADMO, the police, and the Hydro, Works and Housing Ministry, and all the emergency response team, 48th Engineers Regiment, for the rescue that they did. I've asked the Minister of Finance to release some money from the contingency fund so that we can do some post-flood relief for persons who have been affected.
After going through the tour, we realized two issues, one being engineering and the other being attitudinal. It's tasked us as a ministry to ensure that the engineering part, we put our engineers together to ensure that the right thing is done. And also ensure that the good people of Ghana also do the right thing to ensure that at the end of the day, we'll be able to get the best for our good country, Ghana.
But let us change our attitude and let us find a permanent solution to this Accra flooding problem. We shouldn't become like the vulture who, anytime it is raining, he says as soon as it stops raining, he'll repair his roof. And then as soon as it stops raining, he says, oh, it has stopped raining, so there's no need to repair the roof.
Ashanti video no na makwakohwe mampani John Dramani Mahama na mpese wo hwe endra wa hwe from the skies abrendo mu twa video no afi wiem di helicopter ni twa no uhun se dia na nkran esi aye yese nkran ba bia wo nkran almost ba bia wo nkran bia na flood eni part nkran obi ono mo se ahade if you say me nkran me hu se ha flood da but Andre flood na Gilbert no ene standogbe no a mampani di adwuma so mo nsa o ma feel no Andre osane o mo te helicopter mu sresre any serious country bia na ankenre me minu ne besi Andra either say Andra sa task force am on picture too so obetimi aside that so either say on be resign ana say ankendra no mampani ni be yi o madi either say o ma bi e serious bia ba governance any business ankendra sa enipa ensia o senson no anka mu nyina be tender India resignation say adwuma no yantimi anya ye faili intijo dikrata ye jai ana say anka mampani no a ebe yi o madi omuni enti mampani no emfa ye serious enti because of some fire serious enti Andra no oni omo santi play mu because onu say asem bia ni ho Ghana yedi na awotwe enti omo kose ya no mo ba no mo ye na eno an Ghana fo mbegya ho asem ka Andra nkrofo ahwere ajapade nkrofo ahwere sika nkrofo ahwere omo nkwa enom ni ade enya asem keto a but asujua bibia ni ho ebesie
me ba Accra ha 4 years ni enura die nya me ho poi because me hu bi sada okay se ensuo pan timi ayira fa kuru pan sa me kono me duru me tra Joy FM anka me be sikwari mu na hu se cars no to aso bebre na wo hwe atenka omo premises wa ensuo na fa ho na cars go nyina ensuo na ye man go ni nipa gu ho na me manufacture ha kosi capitals ho no kudu ho so asa afi na me pese me cyber minya ba bi kan madam ho asa aba betina dwumem tina so de do ndem di wura nso no mu bisa enti omu si kwa no baako de ekose no ene nyina fa de firi achimota aba no kakran ja ye di fem kosi alajo junction ho na chese ye try ene ye try a ye kodi e kwa mu da wa de kosi ti eno ade nyame ebo aye ka no sukura ya na nyiri kase me ame ba me hunu se kwa nso yirida na se de ho si yiri ye no na je se kaso afo de enam so mo bre pa because so hwa chimota kwan ya enu nsuo timi gifa ye ne de a na kaso afo bre na no mu se odo no a omo drainage ne fa alajo no e na ye ma e ne bufa so nti so do police training school ho opposite ho e do na manfo gina ho video che se nsuo na yira katakata dan so o ye ya ho na ge izikra ti ye na de nyame ti ebusuafo ne course de ye nya bio pania fro na say yen kan no mo ahi be wo ye save sa man for show concern because your mama time ne omu no ono de bibia to bisi wani breso ze yetia na 15th na 2015 3rd June nsuo to ne jeshi ye hu ye nke just so de said yen na nsuo so mu a na eja na dum te said de Rollins kokum judges ya wo hwe o ma nyame to nsuo dum nu nso na joma ama de nsuo to na jeshi no na edi ewu na akoye nsem bebre na wo ka se task force ne senka o mo resign anase o mo president eguno me question is a president no you serious about that task force no because yet here what I am on show host se wo asane ye mu bi adwuma bi a from time to time no obe frɛ bu so me say adwuma na me de ma am no mo ya akosi say for all you know if it is March no 2025 na what committee no kra no on frɛ wo mu so mo da say adwuma na me de share mo nsa no mo ya akwakodu hini anya because President Mahama de or just or kasa keke oye dede on dede de oya de pa but what dey ground no de ono won ka ho na me hu say ade a eto John Mahama no e twere mponyankopon na egu nani mu ase ewo nsem keka basabasa no ho wo de hwese oba ye ensem a okafa na nado ho nyina ni nyina be boni tiri so wo position keka nsem basa fa na nado ho saa enti oba ye bibia okafa na nado ho gu na nado ho fi e de kwaji vote no ni nyina ba pa ni tiri so enti enei ye baka che ose won so akwaji ska no abedie ena ensuo yiri fa ye won kan krum ha na ensu unya koduro ko gina domanim e kan kire om se na nado kwaji ska na no ma chadi ensuo to na yiri ye na nado tab ye hunu su yire we bio 8 years and na nado sensu yire we ye hunu bi wo a wo na se so ye sentia wo de oba ye bibia yi no na wo time eni na kwala bi am ko fa ni fi nsu
yeah
awre hosem
yeah
eto obi tike panini wawu e di ahomaso ni atwe no we nyina chese
in fact me and na ansa ne bia e beti me casualties na e ba nyina because endura see video ba komema aidi atoso obi am say insure tono no so kiosk mu no da ni jam say no akwa akode ne kiosk mu na insure fa kiosk no enti am say otin nani no
na say otin so
insure kiosk ni agwiri ama insure ne ko ti otinani wo nsuo ne so
oteshepu
kwaku enu na wo hwe videos na o kwa hwe kwa beka se bia te se movies ni bi o hwe si de nsuo ni si eba dimrika me hu ba ko bia najo no bas tintin de si home and I ladies bi na wo hwe video no na mo sa no hwe de ne beko na mo se beko ye ko na attended car no bas tintin on attending is towards the sea na akoshim na ni hwa de si na bas na me ehu na minim sa de se ya property dia si ese kwase adua yintia so mpire no you can't bro for say first fruits or the fruit
just say na kan no
3rd June ensuo ni eja kesiai President Mahama time okwata helicopter
hanen helicopter ni
2015 kwaku okwata helicopter mo
eko fa wiem sa
eko fa wiem no video no ho e ababe 8 minutes eko fa ewiem na wo wie ye no me pese ba so ni we graphic online we say I am at a loss. President Mahama says of Accra flood disaster we ye 3rd June 2015 no but we tell you so na me kan kakre okay was saying the 4 station at Journey homes in ruins, over 80 people lost their lives in the blaze. President John Dramani Mahama, who appeared devastated by the tragic loss of lives and property in the wake of Wednesday night's flooding in Accra and other parts of the country, is calling for clear action to avoid such a recurrence. The president is calling for clear action. Now, remember day. We implement it. You are calling for that on whose side? He warned that the usual walls of sympathy that attend such tragedies cause the risk of pulling down structures in the waterways in order to restore sanity. They may not be countenanced at this time. But you free so.
Can be afraid.
Me twat what I say and me man send their man. Was it the president was at the scene of a fire outbreak or was then blaming the disaster on human activities. This was 2015, 11 years ago. Blaming the disaster. Yes, blaming the disaster on human activities. President Mahama said people building in the waterways and littering the drains have made it difficult for the flood water to flow because we've created human intervention between the source of the rivers and the sea where they are headed. I say a lot of people have lost their lives. I'm at a loss for words to express how I feel. Many of them through the floods and then many of them through the fire incident that took place. We have to take some measures to be able to avoid this in the future. Okay. The future is today.
And where Abrano wa bemu
2015 a journey issue. Now we no. Now Abekasa as if we said the Nekufuado. And the Ghana baby.
27th May 2024. As now your opposition leader. A fatu so na aka beye bosumi kakra bi ne ye betwaba. Or say the recent heavy downpour in Accra and other parts of the country have led to extensive destruction of property and according to reports, a loss of a young schoolboy. This has exposed the government's failure to manage and prevent flood effectively and evokes deep concerns about its lack of comprehensive flood prevention and management plan. Many areas that in the past were unaffected by the flood today has become inundated with the least rain. Considering the huge sums of money allegedly spent by this government on the draining the Odo and other flood prevention intervention, the present situation is distressing. According to the government, $200 million was spent on the Greater Accra Resilient Integrated Development Program. Whilst the impacts of that huge amount and its intervention have not yet been felt, Parliament was recently recalled to approve another $150 million $150 million for the same project.
Where
2024.
Where 2024? John Mahama. This is 2015. President was say this is 2015 John President Mahama was say we shouldn't continue to be like the vulture who says he will roof his house when the rain stops. Year in, year out, this continues to happen, and until we attack it scientifically and strategically, we will continue to have this problem.
And you know, na blame human 2015 na blaming a human attitude any opposition blaming and what's about 2 paragraphs or say protecting the lives and properties of our people should be the top priority for a government. The current administration has failed in that regard. Given the opportunity to lead our beloved country again, a new NDC government under my leadership will not rest until we find an engineering solution to the persistent flooding and implement an effective prevention management plan. Our commitment to this. And Mahama at the Ebai.
Opposition.
I've a fast forward. And Ray, just about few hours ago, I give you media more say the amount of rainfall recorded today is among the highest experience in several years. Preliminary data indicate that approximately 140 millimeters of rain fell on Accra. By comparison, the highest single day rainfall recorded last year was about 56 millimeters. That aspect of the problem is beyond our control because it is driven by the changing climate condition. There is the issue of human behavior. Whenever government begins to removing structures built in waterway, some people will cause us to be cause us of being inhumane. Yet when disaster such as today's flooding occur, the consequences affect everyone. The irresponsible action of few individuals end up putting the entire communities at risk.
President Mahama no.
Our position, our BMU 2015 no. Or say a Ghana for na to mira a good gatem ICIC. Or both position 2024 no. Or say a Kufuado insensitive. Wakwaji skabidi. And why say Ghana for some man akwanyana or samba BMU. He will not rest until say we're finding a lasting engineering solution to the problem.
Until I can say
I feel saba BMU BMU and running so say afedi wa basa audit you or say the amount of rain recorded today is among the highest experience in several years. And Jesus afedi person che say
so what the act of on the act of God there
and the afedi oba ban mu no afedi ye afedi say ensu ato ne bi nto da into we dey enye ono a
and because was act of God
oye no say afedi enipa sisi da wonsu akwan mu enipa ese nti afedi enipa kakra bi na musu ba di Ghana fo nkwan nyina eto ese
ene na kufa do bi
wow
America say President Mahama dey see on time twela mponyankopon na egu nanimu ase ama ne hunu se Ghana fo hunu se onye nipa wa kasa sese yetie kura na campus ya die adi na kufu ade wo ho no na climate wo ho na population growth no wo ho
yo
na atidina hwanhwane
na wo ho
but unya kokoduro ekogire nipa nim e kan nsem a yense se ye ka ato no so se wakwaji sika aba be o ma be chedi na wo de wo ba ye kukukukuku what a task force na ntimi anya djuma one day kura ma ye hu se task force na wo tie no adwuma ma ye nie afele nso ne se aje mu bi odi a odi e wo tutu ahye ahum ni aham je wo de bibia anya wo de wo betra so first yenya ayi gas emfri Nigeria West Africa gas pipeline osi nyankopon no eno ani nyimdie mu ena de ship bi akotwa mu bibia ba na de akotwa nyankopon but wo de wo position dia wo de sheni
on the nipa enti mampani Mahama uji ni di enye yi ena wa kire pefe se ontimi eni no kre magana fo
anya no kwafo
no afedi me yenfa some of the disturbing videos informative for me e dorso but me select kakra bi we miensa ene de ade high kakra wo ha but mo de e be manage enti goron wo be hu videos ni bi ensuo obi a make so da kiosk mu no
de na ko
ensuo to na obi a kwose da mu no so hye ne kiosk mu na ni tie no na otensu ani a
ye no kra ye hu de kosi ye ko be na e
ko na ehu enti onu sei no me hu se video na wi ama ye hu se etimi yi no so be kwa ko wu se be ye din o ye ntimi ehu enti no ayade bi a emu oya then another one na edan no nkrofo no wo ho a nsuo na amemo ana nkrofo regional nkrofo kon ho no ni nyina have very disturbing videos and to give them a rolling out videos no na etiefo ehwe na etiefo ehu ne ekoso but say apa ni say no hu na mampani Mahama on the as usual one person be accept responsibility video ni new ti akwa na she hwe on say na me sure say na wada wo enti container ni bugu kiosk ni bugu ni so na ansa na o te say o danso man so ni ko very disturbing. Oh, very, very disturbing. Go away anyway. Where now?
When ye okay, back on ye a video na kiosk no, and I was in the air corner. And I be one move only meant to me. Oh, why no want to be Simunko, you know. But yen to me who you could see, I don't hear seminal. Aha, video. Said no ko fa hene na we no dware ti semiti he ya da bi no betumi aye ehu ena ade ye se ya na ede ko kese mu na ede ko akọ kese mu ede ko kese mu oh jeez na ede ko kese mu okay ede fa ba ko na bra na asem na areho pa asem na areho pa gido fa ba ko na bra na asem na me kasa wo ho ye no ye fiesta royal u fi fiesta royal na u ura joli side from Fiesta Royal to Ghana Gas. But we even from Fiesta Royal to Ghana Gas. No, we it's Mosha. Ukon waka odi fast na obe branch ko Ghana Gas. Emro so do to me fa na am na we so pa wo. Eye gata kese na eye free obekum so ba fa se free Accra mo side ho no. Ba Joli side na other side no. Ayema anopa me duru ho no ma tutokro hwe hanyini nyina hwe ho se concrete na nchen. Ho nyina abu mu and the house am now so to kese wo concrete ne enchen na there's another one look the other side that two hon ma tu you know quota na asphalt no tu kakraka why no and aba beto akiri adope obi ofa obi ayi machine no se empanifo anhwe anya de we hu bibia ebetimi abu agum ebetimi abu agum eye baabi a eso other side ni ti kra second video no ebekọ ho no mo ya eba no we say car anopa yi say traffic achi wo ho
na say ba chi
because obi asuro
obi edu say o ye nkakran
no wo hwe na asim say wo ye nkakran kan be wait of the car da ba fo when case
car no do no na ade na
ba say the padre ni ti no ti gidi say you are speed da bia na
be wo so asase
etiwe Fiesta Royal to Ghana Gas dia ho so no pepa di esi e wo ho no no enu an ko why ko ta no and then run the party be ntwamo and the tiena be hyeso ma asa wia no na wutimi ntwam eti boys na wo ho ma no mo te you know na be hu bibi hospital bi me modi no na omoka obi dem emergency but it drew at a channel was rano and reviano midam me hui it drew at a channel ho na atim and in pa kwani dem etina pick up bi and mo na cassette there's a pick up no eye fast na and walk just walk the chiba ko ba na e so de car na betere bus no door no pepepe in fact na obi kwetwa picture na say me say na me bo ho no mo a en udi ko fo bi ani be mu ni adada mu nyai e na me no kasa no mu jai enura asem si wo Fiesta Royal Fiesta Royal between Fiesta Royal and then Ghana Gas I don't know but over to the next one no aba e komo aye die ni esi wo bi ga asem si a e ma president nkwohwe yen kasa na ade de bi asida
what time
what time
ebisi
e what first ebisi e ma what na helicopter mu e kwohwe e da koso owie mu nyina ke ensema na wakeken 2015 President Mahama wo kasa asem kro ya esi ebusa President Mahama say in fact Ghana for the na Akufo-Addo ni yi President Mahama wo di adesa na Akufo-Addo ba o eto no President Mahama bae no enema ben wo di gu kwa mu say me enra me huti bonko so bi obi papa pani mo wa ko school adura chi say ama say bibia asa e body dem was a die yo ai say insure di nkofo ko se nkofo property a ene yenko busa ye ma Mrs. Rabanda pa
wabodam papa wabodam papa
and I'm City Ghana no started with Nana Akufo-Addo presidency me wa Nana Akufo-Addo de Ghana ba wiase Nana Akufo-Addo ba ye no na president Mahama why president for 4.5 years and vice president no more the 8 years e de ba na mo di gu kwa mu say mo ba prevent flats
mo ntumi anye na Nana Akufo-Addo na mo se wono na wonwini Ghana fo ho e na oba no diska no ne time ye hunu we bi eno so e se na da broken January bia no abopa ni atete drains num kama enti enso no to a ebe yiri kakra kra na dodo na be kumia fa drains num akọ wo ba ye drains mo tie wajan mo kra de mutiri e mo ba na Nana Akufo-Addo actor excavators egu ho e de amamo anka mo de ba hwe atete timu no mo ba ye no mo de ni nyina akọ so kotu galamsey anka akra ha greater akra ha anka mo menya excavators bebri e de aye adwuma ana mo mudi ni nyina NDC fo mo de ye galamsey na wo sori a na wo blemu Akufo-Addo nyame nyankopon ena ma dwoma ha mada pa dead ni nsem huna da bia wo kogina ni panima no akato MPP ni Akufo-Addo so no eno ena onyame aye ni sa no next time se owu koba biewu a obehwe ni kasa yi because on kasa se panini on kasa se obi a wodi president kurada
on say me sorry sisi a na enipa ni bi wo Ira Mahama na ban mu a obetimi ayi omani nye nia ekoso ne ho na omofo se mampani Mahama eya abasebone na eye ne sa yes standogbe kroya etimi nye ne netim esisi awadane dadi anoma da bia se wo di atrantwie e wa buruchire se ne nkolati si so se wo kɔ bani da bia wo di atrantwie enipa so NDC mu a se adwuma betimi ahe what the deputy chief of staff e dia master ndogbe yi what side the way enso dia kan ho so na ye chairman of the task force anope the task force no e picture no me dia akyerew wa hu enipa wo so na onim ni enti amese abashabone na ye mampani Mahama sa ne se wo hwe enipa wo task force ne so agodon ase ofa ni favorite for and odi omo aguso dada ba wo ye bone aye nka and ye krokro mo na ka entra me hu se mampani Mahama ne stand up no te plane mu no and why na me disappointed na me hu se enya ade a mampani Mahama why na adwin so person so bubia because and say straightforward oyi omadi entra sanka omo ye serious and so omo resign omo resign na sanka mampani Mahama straightforward oyi omadi
why na nyi wo mamadi
mampani Mahama
na kwaku so die asembeli
na sanka oyi omadi
kwaku
yes
one we say obi ye wudini watutu akumuni pada ewa akurase wo jabonte wo say wo fa ase so afatai e no so atuma me bi atwetai de bona wo be ndeng
ontimi nya ne hwe
don wo kumuni pa na wo me obi na ne wo fa ase akotwetai na wo de abo obi a e de ha no pese Mahama no ankasa no irresponsible kwaku hwe me say President Mahama na ankasa no enye stand up gbemo aya President Mahama no
na say you know
because President Mahama
no no dia anko betu anamo
wo betu anamo wontimi so ntu because one no on fire ho
oh I see
kwaku wontimi ntu because on fire ho na dia opa ne say wey kwaku opa ma President Mahama won kasa 10 minutes o bo na ku fa bidi
na rebo
ewo ensu yebu
endra pa mi hu pani toto sa mo fa nche and Dr. Steve Mantia endra mo fa nche me ya atum die me ni hu but see a why kura nim na de aduro tare so Dr. Steve Mantia oye pani toto pa dem say efedie say government WhatsApp group no ka ho dem say afesika ketekete de man no afedie say ya na dambo
dem say we administrator
I say ya na dambo say papa panimu na asema ba say o meka mi ntia esu ayiri nkrofo no sika flat sika no sisi adapa o
me na me gidi say me gidi so bia hack
onu an kan
onu an egunu hwani mu ase
me
no bia hack ye obi e hack ni bibia because na sign why consistent say afedie bootlicking no adosun they say aben ese no nko bootlicking nko an no ye
was say wondering where your flood management money went. Ask Cecilia Dapa. She was in charge. She about disaster no. A worse and I say it's happening. Disaster about a worse.
Oh no, I must do this cano. Disaster NDC.
Hey. Oh no.
Doctor Mua.
Afraid you are too much.
No, me don't know who you am. I say you hacking because and because I say bad ye. You be a co school penimu. What your mouth positions I can see. No, the piak. It no say what to be cast as to be bad. In fact,
one the kind. And
baby, one the year.
There be a make Ghana educated fools no doors. What kind of fun to say? You were educated fools. Oh, marry you. Obi kuta prof PhD. So or some back canon. I said. Koda hemu wan si school dem kurada enti papa wo tum bi wa no kasa ase we dia and not say oh you problem pa na sa anya ma no Ghana ha na wo hu say ye mfa ya adwin ne to aba
hwe mo me mfa committees ne to so bi
da bia wo nya yesisi ye no
mo me mfa committees ne to so ne ha de no o de say ni ntia committees be incompetent no odwama ntimi crack whip no ne church tifu the dintia and your boakra
committees in obi anim wo mo enim say President Mahama committee e dey ever President Mahama picture
the favorite appointees and ono you know want me ntwema so no because me say me sorry this year and this is me o sit actually ade ya omo ya ne say ne ekoso nyina no e avoidable because enipa wo hom betima ya adwuma no so mampani Mahama so fa adwuma no mo nye and what can boss say Chibom
obi chief of staff deputy
e say Chibom no dey ama stand dogbe
no asa de foforo
ama na ono so yeso onya to kan no dey track mu hasi say odi atentwi odi atentwi
operations
I see NDC for no e ya omo yawo eni ma ekoso nyina ma ni nye ho because omo fo say mampani Mahama e set party ni up so bimbelu su na election
na Mahama ye serious
o sinam
wo defense minister wu 10 months
untimi appointed defense
o ko de mo bi ahwe kira finance minister no no finance no kura wo hunu ne ho ano no what's that time defense dey akoka no on you serious ha say this ni we can say ni paboni ni bi du oman so a oman ni si apini
ayi na kan
ayi digital marketing
nti aseba kan no e na abeto Ghana fo nyina na so no
na
paboni ni di oman no so nti apini si ana Ghana e besi nti eno na le
video bi a ayi di asende me pa Gideon ya asemo em se nkro se mu ko yi omu na ntwi ya asemo ndro nsu yi na nsu ra se da asepo
nsu no di na ntwi no ko
enra ba bi a omu ka se de enkra mi no ko no omu se obi so na ntwi 15
e de omu ko
de ntwi 15 eko
se opeso hu mampani Mahama suban a ma yenfa ade bi enkyerɛ kakra aha hwe ni hwe na ntwie no na omo be hwe boys no mo ye wade papa sinso ndi na ntwie ne ko wie o
omo ko save no
oh Charlie
we no de wo no na di ka ko yire no
wa jire no ho
eti
samo sisi o
Gideon me da se
elo me ba ko so mo se akora bi so ka dem isu ni de ye na obi ko save no se na wo nsu
ye se wa me hu an se wo na keka ma onsu pie ba no
ko collapse minim de ono ato no wa ku ade we ho edipa bebraya ade mrante bebraya
no boys na ya de o
ma ya
so mu ja ade na to nadmo fo na isu akani pe be wu
oh that so far wa hu ayi no
nadmo
ayi
na fire service ni ya kan so far no
fire service
ono ko bre wu no
so pa
na na mo so da for video bi so far
and me hu bia
endra boys no busa say operation debe no he pa me fire
operation boafo
operation boafo
endra boys no ya de o
say be all over bia say o person bu save obi o person bu save obi
endra boys no ya de do
me so bi hwe video bi na e do bi ko na lady bi na era ne commentary no say o mo say obi ko tena wall bi so bibi na ye ya yakopon edi ba ko no wafo ofi ko bebe na ede na e ko no ankobewu akogu e dey change course na ne code facet na obi ete wall so na so ni nsem sei
wow
and waje no etienra Ghana fo amranti a mo de mo ho ebo afare ko munya ko be
isi a unu asman krofo kan isi a de omu Ghana nyina obi a ye pe because Chadu inso yiri East Lagos Hills inso yiri Airport Hills inso yiri na ayi circle inso yiri tena si Ghana ha obi antimi ka so obi sin obi because si akuro ni na jomama
ba Westlands dey hondi
mo ho anyiri
ho ni so no to ya na ho adra
amomra denta ho de inso yiri o
yes inso yiri
ba wo kwa wo bre
o kwa na musom na ko
na mo fenso no ma ko
so ben
wo airport no nso na ta ha
na so mo ta for be wo fro
airport ye ndro mi ka se mi fi akọ na atwe ekwan na ka half ho it manage
right na say ka half na
ka half mo use ga kan ga
John Mahama na mejam na eba won so na musuo hia osofo so ben pass am o kan no no samu nim nam to abade ma John Mahama bie mu a atwire nkyem o ebe si wo Ghana no ebe ye ebi nsi da na ye hu ene ye hu